After a gap of 5 years, LEGO has once again released a 4220 to Ducati motorcycle set, as the first 1:5 scale motorcycle set among LEGO to be equipped with the 3rd generation gearbox. The interior of this Ducati Panigale V4 indeed conceals a lot of great features. In this video, let's take a detailed look at its performance. Let's take a look at the packaging first. The color box still follows the consistent design style of LEGO set for those aged 18 and above. You can see the 1:5 model scale in the upper right corner. In the lower right corner, there is the logo of Ducati and some basic information about the set. On the back of the color box, in addition to the picture of the completed set from another perspective, you can also see the dimensions of the finished product, illustrated demonstrations of the functions and gameplay such as gear shifting and shock absorption, as well as a photo of the prototype vehicle. The finished product has a length of 43 centimeters and a height of 30 centimeters, which is basically at the same level as several previous 1:5 motorcycles. Open the color box, you'll find that the 1,603 pieces are divided into 13 part sub-packages and 12 large steps. On average, each large step only has 133 pieces. The sub-packaging is really meticulous. The manual and stickers are not packaged in the white envelope bags commonly used for large sets in the past, but in brand new paper bags instead. The beginning of the manual features 10 pages of color illustrations, providing some introductions to aspects such as the Ducati prototype vehicle, its development history, and the functional gameplay of the finished model. There are a total of 441 steps, with an average of 3.6 pieces per step. There is a full sheet of stickers. It includes a nameplate sticker and these Ducati logos for the vehicle. Okay, next, let's take a look at some of the new parts in this set. First, there's a brand new set of Technic panels numbered 6606 and 6609. Compared with the earlier similar Technic panels numbered 64394 and 64680, the new parts feature a design change from a convex-shaped outer surface to a concave one. The parts numbered 5741 and 5742 are also new style tech panels with concave-shaped surfaces. It is similar to the previous parts numbered 64681 and 64393. These panels have appeared in the previous 42174 set. Regarding the brand new transparent windshield part numbered 6830, relatively speaking, the reusability of this set of parts is probably lower than that of the previous ones. However, it is quite useful for 1:5 scale motorcycles. And this part is individually packaged in a paper bag to prevent scratching. Regarding other key part, the front fork shock absorber adopts the same gold-colored version as that of the previous 42159 set for Yamaha motorcycle. The wheels are the 71720 part, which is the same as that of the previous 42130 BMW motorcycle. So, no new versions of these two parts have emerged. Okay, next, let's start assembling and take a look at the internal design simultaneously. Here you can see a limiting device inside the gearbox. The designer used a 6628 part, a pin with a towel ball, which can provide an appropriate angular limiting function during gear shifting. Now we can see that this Ducati is equipped with the new 3rd generation gearbox. The entire gearbox is mainly composed of a gear set, a manual shifting mechanism, and a stepping mechanism. There are 3 gear sets in total, including one with a ratio of 20:12, one with a ratio of 16:16, and one with a ratio of 20:4:8. When shifting gears, the power transmission ring is driven by the shift fork to select different gear sets, thereby achieving the effect of gear shifting. The shift fork is driven by this sky blue shift groove wheel. In the manual shifting mechanism, we can see these 2 dark gray axle parts numbered 27940. They can push the yellow 8-tooth stepping gear in the middle from 2 directions, causing it to rotate in the corresponding different directions for shifting up or shifting down. In the stepping mechanism, the light gray part numbered 989 elastically abouts against the stepping gear to achieve the linkage effect of the stepping gear rotating 45 degrees each time. At the same time, compared with the previous layout method, the new solution can make the gear shifting feel clearer, but the required gear shifting force may also be greater. In addition, we can also see that this yellow axle is connected to the engine at the rear. After the power arrives, it passes through the gear sets in the gearbox. And through the 3 gears on the back, the power finally reaches the 16-tooth gear that drives the chain to rotate. Now, let's test the gear shifting. and the gear shifting works fine, but indeed, a relatively large amount of force is required when shifting gears. In each gear position, the entire gearbox operates very smoothly. At the same time, we can also see this green part numbered 60483. During the gear shifting process, it rotates synchronously and achieves the effect of gear shifting limit by abutting against the surrounding parts. Here, we can see a brand new engine cylinder solution. The designer has used the piston part numbered 4369, which previously appeared in the 4217-7 Mercedes G-Class. Additionally, a bar with tow ball part numbered 22484 is installed, thus enabling support for the piston part numbered 2851. We can take a look at the creation of the frame angle of the entire motorcycle, especially the angle of the front fork here, and the creation of the angle of the engine block here is quite special as well. And the rear swing arm uses the large shock absorber part numbered 79717. The yellow version is adopted. After testing, it is found that the rebound force is moderate. Looking at the front water tank radiator, the designer has used a large number of grille parts here. Moving on, after completing the remaining exterior modules, the work will be all done. Now let's take a look at the finished product first. First of all, by comparing it with the prototype vehicle, we can see that aspects such as angle of the front fork, the curved contour extending all the way from the fuel tank to the end of the seat, and the angle of the rear swing arm are basically consistent with those of the prototype vehicle. Compared with the previous BMW motorcycle, on the side appearance of this Ducati, several gear parts in different colors can be seen, which makes it look more like a toy to some extent. We can also compare the details through these two pictures. What do you all think of the appearance performance of this? In terms of functionality, the rear swing arm has been tested and there are no problems. The rebound feedback is excellent. The travel of the front fork is also quite large, and generally there won't be any problems in these aspects. Then look at the steering of the front handlebar. The range of steering is roughly like what you can see in the video. Then comes the gear shifting test. As the test shows here, the overall feel of gear shifting is relatively tight, and sometimes there will also be problems of unsuccessful gear shifting. However, the linkage of each gear position has been tested and is normal. At the same time, we can directly observe the linkage state of the internal four-cylinder engine from the exterior. Since the motor test is fine, there will naturally be no issues when manually pushing it either. Finally, let's take a look at the firmness. As you can see, by directly grabbing the fuel tank and lifting it upwards, grabbing the seat, grabbing the wheel, and tossing and shaking it in various ways, it can be seen that the performance in terms of firmness is quite good. Basically, there are no parts or modules that are likely to fall off on the entire exterior surface. The overall framework is also sturdy enough. And there might be a relatively minor regret about this set, for this nameplate is not made of printed materials, and when pasting this large sticker, it's quite easy to get air bubbles, so you need to pay a little attention when pasting it. Apart from this display platform, the set also comes with a paddock stand as usual. Well, that's the overall situation of this set. See you in the next video.